Hope you're ready to worship. I am. Tell you what, we got a good old response song here starting off for you Grovians. And so you know where it is. And hopefully you yell it out no matter where you are, because if someone else hears it, they're going to be like, what's going on? But it'll be a good thing. When night is falling, when fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love's holding on, it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on, it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. In every season, you keep repeating promises to me. Lift it up. Now there's no stopping what you have started till it is complete. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. Echo in my when my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love's holding on, it won't let go. Let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo. Your love's holding on, it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. Echo in my soul. If you
Mother's Day, the one day a year we set aside to celebrating our sweet moms for all the ways they're so nice to us. Bringing her breakfast in bed, going to church together, buying her flowers and other girly stuff, giving her a little quiet time, making her a nice picture or a card, taking her to dinner, and maybe, just maybe, letting her play Jedi Knight Fighters from the planet Typhon with us. Or, whatever she wants. Anything is fine, really. It's your day, Mom. What should we do together?
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. We have some special guests online, and it is Mother's Day, so we have some of our volunteers from the Grove that are mothers. I thought it'd be great to get some input and some insight from some moms. And I know in my experience, some of the best advice I've ever gotten have been from moms. It's gonna be good times. So the first thing I want to do is just, I know a lot of people that are watching, though, you gals, I'm gonna say guys, you gals, but go ahead and say your name and then tell us what your favorite thing about serving at the Grove is.
Okay, I am Karen Kaiser, and I think my favorite thing about serving the teens is just being with them, helping them to grow spiritually, having fun with them, being silly with them, and just being in their presence and having them in my presence.
Karen, we'll do this to everybody. You want to say the names of your kids and give maybe ages so people know how long you've been a mom?
Sure. Scott is, put me on the spot now. He's 35. Pretty sure. He is. And also he's a worship pastor in Indiana. And then I have twins that are 29, Matt and Melissa. And Melissa's a school counselor in Mount Vernon. And Matt's finishing up his education degree.
So I think what I enjoy most about volunteering with the youth group is building relationships with teenagers. I was kind of roped into youth group because of my husband. So that's not something I'm called to on my own. I always did school before. But I really do enjoy building relationships with the teenagers. I mean, in just 3.5 years' time, there's students that, have impacted me and I've impacted, and, that we're having relationships with forever now. So I have Breslin, she's 5. I have Austin, he's 4. He's in front of my computer making a scene, but trying to be really quiet. And Emerson is 2, and Leighton is 1.
My name is Monica, and I think the part that I enjoy the most about working with the teens is watching them mature in their faith, mature in their walk with God. I think another big thing with me is knowing what an impact a youth leader can have on somebody's life for their future and everything. I had some really great people in my life when I was a teen in youth group, and I just kind of want to be that person for some teens in our church. And I have 4 kids. My oldest is 14, and then I have, that's Hayden, and then I have Britton, he is 11, and then I have Riley is 9, and then my stepson Braxton, and he's 9.
I'm Carrie McGinnis, and I started in the youth group probably about 2016, right after we came back from Belize. The best thing that I think about the youth group is the relationships that I have developed with the kids that have continued outside of youth group. Some of them I still stay in contact with. I kind of have adopted them as my own kids. And so it's kind of cool to see how they're growing and spiritually and how their lives are changing. And I have 2 boys, Noah, who's 18, and Elijah, who's 13.
So it's cool we have like Kayla, my wife. You're on this side for me, so I'm pointing to you. You parenting little kids. We're parenting little kids. Monica's kind of like in between some elementary and middle school, and then Carrie's got a senior and a middle schooler, and then Karen's been through it all and is empty nest. So it's gonna have good perspective here. To describe your relationship with your mom when you were a teenager. A lot of the students watching have differing relationships with their parents, and some are awesome, and some are horrible, and some were awesome, and then they were quarantined together for 8 weeks, and now they're not so awesome. So, describe your relationship with your mom as a teenager.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a very good relationship with my mother. My parents were divorced, and my dad was raising me. And so the only reason I would see her is just out of duty. She was not a very good mother to me at all. So just lazy and very dysfunctional woman. So that made me want to break the chain and be an awesome mom that I never had. So I thank God that I have the opportunity that I can be.
So my relationship with my mom as a kid was pretty normal. I was a really good kid. Like, the things that kids usually get in trouble for just never crossed my mind. the biggest thing that me and my mom had trouble with growing up is I was very passive aggressive. So like when I got Facebook and I was mad at my mom, I would just post things on Facebook without mentioning any names. And thanks to my mom, I know that's wrong. So yeah, I mean, we learned how to argue with each other the right way. We learned when we needed to take a break and come back. And so I think thanks to my mom, I deal with conflict really well.
So my relationship with my mom was really good when I was a teenager. We actually were kind of more like best friends than we were, mother-daughter. So at the time I was like, ooh, this is so cool. My mom is like my best friend. All my friends thought it was really cool because my mom pretty much just let me kind of just do whatever I wanted to. And she would just drive me. So a lot of times it was kind of one of those things where I was just spoiled. I was the only girl. So my mom was literally like my best friend in school. Later on in life, I realized that it would have been better for her to be more of a mom than just my best friend. I might have not gotten as much trouble. I mean, I would still have gotten trouble, I'm sure, but not as much if I had maybe just a little bit more discipline from her instead of like her just allowing me to do whatever I wanted.
All right. My relationship with my mom was pretty good growing up. I was the youngest of 4 kids, so I kind of had 2 separate parents. My older siblings, because Christy's 13 years older than I am, so she was like my mom too. But my mom was awesome. She was our number one supporter. She was at everything. She went to everything that we did, even our trips with school. She was a chaperone. And so it's kind of nice, having her there, having her be I could always know when I was playing basketball, I looked up, there was mom, always there. And she was always active in the church. And so she taught me how to be, involved in the church and to share my love with Jesus with the kids, because I started in the kids department and then now I'm in the teens. So she was a great role model.
I wanted to talk today about really, as followers of Jesus, as a teenager who follows Jesus, we are to honor everyone, but specifically, there's passages of scripture about honoring your parents. And so I want to read Ephesians chapter 6 to you. It says, verse 1 and 2 says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy a long life on earth." So Ephesians has a lot of cool family things, and there's a lot of pieces of scripture that are great for what a Christian family looks like, and a lot of it has to do with that word honor, honoring each other. So I wanted to ask you guys, how would you describe what it means to honor your parents?
Whether you feel like it or not, whether you feel like they deserve it or not, you won't always agree with them, but remind yourself that they are your parents. They do love you. I mean, won't get everything right. We just don't. You still need to show love to them anyway. Like I said, I didn't have a great relationship with my mom, but I still showed love for her anyway because I knew that's what I needed to do.
I think, a lot of times it just means doing the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah, when you
remembering that, there was a time that you drove them nuts. Actually, you still do. You drive your parents nuts. And they don't always tell you that, they still love you and they still care for you. But yeah, and doing the things that you don't want to do.
So I would say basically just respecting your parents, respecting the decisions that they make for your life, and knowing that your parents have, your best interest at heart.
When I think of this, I mean, it is definitely loving your parents and respecting them even when you don't want to. But I kept going back to when I honor mom and dad, I know that I'm honoring God, because I remember the morals and the values and the Christian upbringing that they've instilled on me. And there's times when all that comes back when I'm dealing with the boys. And I hope that I'm doing that same thing for them.
Yeah, so honor really, the definition of honor is respect, high respect, great esteem, adherence to what is right or a conventional standard of conduct. So treating someone the way you want to be treated is honoring someone. You think about honoring your parents, it means treating your parents the way that you want to be treated. That should change some things. It should change the way that you react to things, the way that you say things. And the fact of the matter is, Christians see people as every person that they come in contact with as someone that is made in the image of God and someone that Jesus died for. Even your parents, teenagers, even your mom, even your dad, Jesus died for them, and Jesus, they have the image of God inside of them, just like you do. And when we see each other like that, that means we should treat each other that way. So really, honoring everyone, especially honoring your parents, is just a matter of seeing them the way Jesus sees them. A lot of kids, a lot of teenagers I come into contact with, I've seen before, and I even was that kind of teenager before, is what can I get from them? They're there because you're supposed to take care of me, and you're supposed to feed me, and you're supposed to do all the things for me. So it's like this just one-sided relationship. When Christianity, when Jesus steps into your life, it's actually, all right, you do things for me, that's great. I'm going to serve you as well. You care for me, now I get to care for you when you need cared for. What is one way you think moms want to be honored by their kids?
First of all, just kind of going back a little bit with what we were talking about, honoring your parents. I didn't become a Christian until I was about 14, and God helped me to be nicer to my parents, like we were talking about, with God's love through me. So that's another bonus about having a relationship with Christ. He can help you do that. Also, a great way to honor your parents or your mom would be right now to just show extra love and kindness to her. Try to have fun with her also, and spend extra time with her. Put your device down.
Take her word, you know what I mean? Like she loves you and she cares for you and she wants the best for you. So she's not gonna, purposefully lead you astray. So I think just taking to heart the things that your mom is trying to teach you.
So sometimes I think just listen. If your parents ask you to do something, just do it. Don't hesitate. Even if it's something that you just really don't want to do, even if it means you have to get off of your game or you have to get off the couch or you have to go do something, I think that just showing that you are going to just get up and do it the first time, I think just really shows parents that you really care.
And for me, what I was thinking is, I love it when I see my boys helping others without asking. It's kind of cool just to watch them do those things. So if you're one of those kids who doesn't want to help, doesn't want to get out and go out and do anything, if you go out and do that, that is awesome to, as a mom, to see that. I've watched Elijah help an elderly gentleman at a basketball game without even being asked up the bleachers. When I see him do that, that means that I've done something right. We're teaching him something good. And when your parents see you do that, their hearts just melt because they know that they're doing it right. No matter how old you get, always tell your mom that you love her and show that love.
Matt and his girlfriend surprised us on Monday. They just showed up. And so that was just awesome. So if you just surprise your parents with anything, or be, showing up for something unexpectedly. And we were just going through our mementos and stuff like that. So I was reading letters that they had written. So even sit down, write your mom a letter for Sunday and watch her cry. That'd be something very endearing.
I am the type of person who I can be just completely frustrated, and then one of my kids comes up and hugs me, and it just kind of makes it better. So it's something simple like that just kind of shows honor towards me when my kids just come up and hug me, and especially if I'm having a really bad day. And then as a stepmom, I know some of you kids out there have stepmoms. Being a step parent is not easy. So showing your step parent that you appreciate them and that you care for them, I think that can just I mean, that can just completely change their whole mood and attitude, you know, because they really are, most of them are really trying their hardest. You know, it's not easy. So that's just something I thought about.
So I think really a lot of this can be summed up in just that word honor, and, you know, seeing someone as someone worth treating with respect, worth treating the way you want to be treated. And really it comes down to realizing, and I say this all the time in our, you know, our Bible studies and our Sunday nights, all this stuff, I say it all the time, but there's more to life than your life. It's not always about what you want. Sometimes, you know, that word submission. So in Ephesians 6 chapter, if you keep reading past verses 1 and 2, you'll see this word submit all the time. And submit is not this sign of weakness. Submit is this sign of strength, saying, I care about you enough that I'll let your go first. I'll let you go first. Kind of like the whole, you know, kind of like holding the door open for someone. You first. You go first. And submitting to your parents can really look like, you know, I don't think they're doing it right. They haven't had an original thought since 1999, and I think they're super out of touch with life. But you know what? I'm gonna do what they say here in this situation. I'm gonna take their advice. I'm gonna do this. Take the trash out of them, because I know they've had a long day. And so considering someone else before you, that's how you become a good human, right? That's how you become a good person, not just a Jesus follower, but Jesus followers should be the best at that, is seeing other people before themselves. And it's hard, but that's what that looks like. And when you honor your parents in that way, that can bring about a really good relationship.
Do chores, do things around the house without being asked. That shows lots of love.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and really right now, during a global pandemic, you know, you've never been through this, but your parents haven't either. Your parents have never been through it. Your mom has never been a mom during a global pandemic, and they've never been, you know, they've never worked from home before. Some of them, they have fears of their own. They have concerns of their own. So giving them grace when it seems like, okay, I'm in a bad mood. Well, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out today, and thanks for all you do with moms. If all of these moms on the screen, if you want to get in touch with them, just DM us. If there's anything you want to talk about, just keep in touch with us, guys. And thanks so much for watching. And after you turn this off, go hug your mom and write a list of 10 things you love about your mom and give it to her, and just watch the words. As long as it's free, not fake. But yeah, do something cool for your mom. You're watching this at 6 o'clock, so it's a little late, but you can still do something, right? So, and maybe even just rewatch this with your mom. I don't know. But it'll be a good time to honor your parents and honor your mom this time. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.
Thanks so much for watching The Grove Online. If you need anything this week, text the number on the screen, and we'd love to get in touch with you. Let us know how we can help you, how we can pray for you. Remember, you are loved and you belong here at The Grove. Have a good night, guys.